This video will cover small group instruction using station rotation in a concurrent classroom. As with other models, small group instruction works great in face-to-face classes and can be adapted to virtual classes using breakout rooms. Adapting it to concurrent classrooms require a bit of work on the teacher's part, but the benefits are huge. Small group instruction using stations is a great way to ensure that you are interacting with all students. It's much harder for students to hide in a group of 5 than in a group of 30. They are also more likely to ask questions in a smaller group setting. This chart lays out teacher, in-person, and virtual student actions during a station rotation lesson. You'll notice that while the virtual students are doing the same thing as the in-person students, they are not doing it at the same time. Additionally, the teacher is part of a station within the rotation to allow for small group instruction and remediation. The work can be interactive or independent depending on the station. In a concurrent classroom, it is logical to create groups of just virtual and just in-person students. Since classes might not be equally divided between in-person and virtual students, your grouping numbers between the two might not be even. You may also choose to only have 2 groups, one for in-person and one for virtual. In traditional classrooms, the students might physically rotate through the stations. In concurrent classrooms, the teacher is the one rotating through the groups. Creating groups for virtual is easy. You can put them into breakout rooms and then move into each room when it's their turn for direct instruction or remediation. In-person groups must adhere to mitigation strategies and remain socially distanced. This can make interactive work a challenge. If you have a small group of in-person students, they might be able to separate themselves into collaborative groups while still maintaining social distance. Classrooms with a lot of in-person students might have to rely on written interaction using shared Google Docs. Station rotation may also include a one-on-one remediation rotation. Not all students will necessarily access this station. For in-person remediation, it is recommended to use a plexiglass barrier so that you can talk to the student a bit more quietly. Virtual remediation can be done via a private breakout room. When working with breakout rooms, you can turn the volume down on your speaker or use headphones so that the in-person students aren't distracted while they're working. In addition to grouping students and ensuring that you can interact with them in a safe manner, you must also determine how the students will access each station. The directions should be clear and both groups should know your expectations of moving on to the next station. Will you time them? Can they move on when they're done? Do they need to stay in their groups? All of these should be spelled out so you can focus on the students in your small group. In terms of access, you can create a hyperdoc with each station labeled on them. Alternatively, you can create individual station assignments with resources in Blackboard or in Google Classroom. At the beginning, stick with the platform that you and your students are familiar with. Introducing a new platform while starting out with concurrent learning will only lead to frustration on everybody's part. Here are some examples of activities that can be done within each station. Again, while some can be independent, there should be some collaborative activities to provide interaction within these groups. Pause the video to review the list. Finally, here are some questions to consider as you plan your small group station rotation activity.